am your host, Rachel Medina. I am super excited and honored to have this wonderful woman that I had the pleasure of meeting at the Women's Leadership Conference. We were both keynote speakers at this event, and it was actually my first introduction to her, and I was absolutely wowed. Let me tell you, I was a little intimidated. I had to speak after her. Talk about no pressure whatsoever. I am talking about Nada Lena Nasserdeen, and she is a two-time TEDx speaker. When I tell you, no pressure, right? Best-selling author and the CEO of Rise Up For You, helping people develop their personal confidence and professional confidence. Nada, welcome to the Rachel Unpacked podcast.
Thank you for
Introduce
having me.
yourself.
Thank you so much. It's such an honor to be here. It's such a pleasure to just be here to educate, to empower. I'm really looking forward to the conversation. I mean, you said it all. So my first career, I was a performer. I used to tour internationally around the world as a singer and a dancer. And that's when I really realized that it wasn't necessarily about talent, but about tenacity. So I would walk into a room with, 300-400 people that were amazing singers, amazing dancers. Like they were all highly technically advanced when it came to singing, dancing, and performing. But yet I always got the center stage spot. I was always like the diva solo, but I was never the best singer ever. So there were always men and women in the room that can completely sing me out of the water. They had a 3.5 octave range. I had a 2.5 octave range. They had parents that were celebrities. I just sang in my garage growing up. And yet I always got that spot. And I started to think like, this is really interesting because she's actually a way better singer. Why did I get the solo, right? You kind of start to explore and understand. And then I went on to become an executive. So when I was 27, I went into the corporate workplace and I became an executive at 27 years old for 200 members. And I saw the same thing. So highly functioning, really solid professionals that had PhDs, master's degrees, bachelor's, a ton of certifications. They were getting in their own way, but they had all the talent they needed, right? They had all the technical skill. They had everything they needed to be successful, yet they felt unfulfilled. They couldn't find their purpose or their why. They were really struggling with communication because remember, the person is the professional is the person. Like they're not disconnected as much as we like to say they are. They are not. We're all one. So they were really just sabotaging themselves and getting in their own way. And that's when I really started to explore, okay, what makes some organizations and some professionals move further faster? Especially if I'm looking at a resume and I have 2 resumes or 2 coaches or 2 entrepreneurs, call it what you want, that have the same technical skill. How come one is moving further faster and finding more success?
Yeah.
What are the common denominators that go beyond just having the technical skill? Because the reality is that in today's world, everybody has the technical skills in your industry, right? Whatever industry you're in, if you're a real estate agent, you all know how to sell real estate the same, right? You had this incredible business and then COVID hit. Great. What's the next step? And I think sometimes we get stuck in, that was me, that's who I am. And it's like, well, whatever happened to just growing with life? Okay. Like I was a performer. Great. Then I became an executive. I was an executive. Great. That's what I did. Now I'm an entrepreneur and I run my business. I don't know what I'm going to be in 5 years from now, but I'm okay with that because that's part of life and that's part of the journey. And just allowing yourself to have self-compassion for change, have self-compassion for change. And a lot of times things happen to us and then we just get stuck. We're like, no, I can't. This is who I am. This is what people see me as. Where it's like, what if they can see you as something else now? A new and a different, beautiful, evolved you, and that's the journey of life. And I think that's also a control thing that humans have, right? It's like they want to have certainty and like understand every aspect and control of their life, but life just doesn't work that way. Well, there's 2 types of people. There's one type of person, which I would say is the majority, where their pain pauses their potential. Because the reality is like every single person has a lot of pain and struggle that they've been through. And unfortunately, most people let that pain pause them. They let that pain prevent them from stepping into a beautiful future. It pauses their potential. It pauses their ability to be their best self. And then you have other people, which I would say are you, based off of the beautiful story that you've said, that you use your pain as fuel for growth, that you'll be damned if your pain's going to go to waste. Right? You're like, I went through all this. I'm going to use it. I'm going to use it to make me the best version of me and then to support and make an impact in the world. I'm going to take all of that and I'm going to use it opposed to letting it just go to waste. right? And that's a decision that you've made. And that's a decision that everyone can make if they want to, but they have to make that decision for themselves. It's a constant journey with yourself as a woman, as a human being, as an entrepreneur, as a person. But you're absolutely right in that, in order to show up and give to others, you have to start with yourself. That's one thing that, I can really say about myself. When people ask me, like, what are your values? I say, God, number one, faith, and the second is me.